Look, we're having this conversation. The political class is speaking, reconciling, but at the same time, Kenyans are still facing challenges. What more must we see from the political leaders?
First of all, I want to clear my name from the allegations that have been put on me, on my image and my name, by my colleague Mheshimiwa Mark Nyamita. He said that I'm the one who carries the briefcase, Rigathi Gachagwa's briefcase. I just want to remind him that Rigathi Gachagua does not require to carry any briefcase because he is no longer in office. And therefore, I would want you to maybe substantiate what you meant by that briefcase, because there are no more files to be carried. And I'm sure you did what you did to impeach him. I saw you celebrate very heavily in Parliament after you impeached him. You know, there is an escape route for politicians whenever politicians and the ruling class are not able to deliver the promises that they made during campaigns. The alternative route is called escapism politics, where you escape what people expect from you and bring other shenanigans and, you know, theatrics so that people can, you can move people's attention from the main issue to non-issues. When you see the President of the Republic of Kenya, the symbol of unity, stand in public on a microphone, publicly, and reflects and shows off, manifests his anger and frustration to the people he's speaking to, in the name of unity, but inciting the same people he's trying to preach unity to against another community. When you see the president in his entourage, young parliamentarians like myself stand in front of him and utter utterances that depicts isolation of one community versus other communities. When you hear the president himself use words that are unpalatable in public at the glare of the cameras, that tells you that that is a system that has failed, are aware that they have failed, and all now they are doing is to bring other emotional, to capture people's emotions on tribal lines, ethnic lines, to the extent of even ethnic profiling. When you start telling people that this community has been at it for 8 years, this community is not the right community being in State House, this community hates, dislikes, such words in public, that tells you that this is a system that has failed, a regime that has lost it, attacked health system, crushed it, attacked education system, crushed it, attacked our national budget, crushed it, attacked our manufacturing sector, crushed it. This is a system that is now thriving on whipping emotions along tribal lines. And I heard Madam Jane say that what happened in Kirinyaga was for political benefits.
I didn't say for political benefit, I'd say it could be. It could be.
If it was for political benefits, we would have had Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua talk about themselves and their parties and what they are doing. But they spoke about our children who are being abducted. They spoke about the economy that is on its knees. They talked about undelivered promises. They never spoke about themselves. And that is why I was comfortable in that meeting. If they started talking about political parties, you know me, I would have said no. But they spoke about the issues Kenyans want to hear because Kenyans are frustrated. And I support my brother David Ocheng has just said it. Why is Rigathi Gachagua all of a sudden becoming very relevant? Why is all of a sudden Rigathi Gachagua being celebrated? Why is he back on our newspapers headline every day? It is because whatever he is talking about now is what Kenyans want said. Nobody is saying that this government is killing our children. Nobody is saying that this government has raped its own economy. Nobody is saying that this government has actually overborrowed and overburdened this country to the next 30 years. We are going to be slaves of its own borrowing.
But what is the matter here? I thought this was done on the 1st of November when Deputy President Kithure Kindiki was sworn in. Why all these ongoing sort of speeches against a former official?
Good morning, Sam, and thank you. I would believe we all thought it was over but I believe we've been watching what has been going on. So there's been a lot of criticism towards the government. There's been a lot of back and forth exchanges since that happened. And I believe maybe why the president got to a point of responding is because he had also been attacked the previous week, and it was good for him to explain himself. Looking at where we are, Sam, I believe a leader is supposed to deliver hope to their people. And we could say for the last 2.5 years or so, we've had so much progress happen in our country, and it's been unspoken about. Even many times I've come to studio, and you people have told me, Jane, you're doing so much, but this government is not speaking about it. So when the president gets to that point, he wonders why his assistant wouldn't have been the active person to tell Kenyans what was going on. In a case of Taifa Care, where we're having our people having universal health coverage, that is a situation where I would want to mention that for the last 4 days I've visited around 16 of my villages in Laikipia County. And I must mention the last day I visited a village called Morocco, in a very remote area. And as I was explaining to them about Taifa Care, this woman raises up her hand, shows us her leg, and tells us she was paid for 300,000 by Taifa Care. In such a situation, you find yourself wondering, why should be the people telling us that they are benefiting, and a leader who is supposed to deliver hope to them tell us that nothing is working in this country? You've showed us a clip of where a lady went to a supermarket and was shopping.
Right.
What is unfortunate about that clip is that you've not mentioned a year or so ago, or in fact 2 years ago, our people were buying maize flour at 250 shillings. That lady has bought the maize flour at 120 shillings. That is, of course, progress that is taking place in this country. When we talk about education, and this I picked during my last visit in the villages in Laikipia, our parents used to be told they had to fund employment of BOM teachers. Today, they've moved from having to fund 3 or 4 teachers to about 1 teacher. That's because our Kenya Kwanza government has employed more than 76,000 teachers. Today, you speak to our MPs seated here, they have built more than 10,000 classes in the last 1 year, which were supposed to be JSS classes. We have 3,000 classes to go. So much good things are happening in this country. The fertilizers, which were an unbelievable thing, we were told they would move from 7,000 to 2,500 shillings. Today, our farmers are having surplus harvest. So when the president gets frustrated, it's because so much good is happening in the country, but it's unspoken about.
That's what I'm asking. I mean, if he could not speak about these issues,
yes,
he is no longer there to speak about the issues.
Then, unfortunately, why is he still speaking about them?
I mean, he's outside the government.
Yes.
That's what I'm wondering. What is the essence of responding?
Some believe in politics.
Yeah.
You cannot just keep quiet. In fact, we say the arrow is returned at the point at which it comes from. And I believe that's the spirit the president was working for.